Okay, so Volder's drone hit the bush, and he's gonna go and find it.
Okay, here we go. This is the Suzuki DL800DE. I'm joined with Dylan today, and we are taking it on the highway just to see what it does. Alright, good morning, this is Volder from Adventure Co, and today we are review riding the Suzuki DL800DE, also known as the V-Strom 800DE. And this is of course courtesy of Motor Ride Rentals. They are our motorcycle rental partner in South Africa. So if you're coming down and you want to do a tour with us, or you want to rent a bike on your own, just contact us. We'll have some details below the video. So first ride impressions. We already did some highway riding. It pulls like a freight train. Amazing, really not a bad looking bike. We're gonna go over the specs later on. I've got my buddy Dylan joining me today. He is venturing into the world of enduro riding, so it's his first time back on an adventure bike in a while. Great photographer, great videographer. But let's get this bike on the road. And we'll talk about the modes later on. Traction control off, and let's switch that ABS off. Right, we are ready to roll. As usual, just listen to that. We're gonna hit the road, take it slow, get the feel for the suspension, the handling, the brakes, all that stuff. And let's take you on our normal scenic ride.
Morning, morning. That was not welded. Okay, his drone crashed into a tree. Ah. His drone hit a bush back there. I think he's gonna play the footage now. Okay, so Volder's drone hit the bush, and he's gonna go and find it. It's weird, this drone's supposed to have all these like sensors on that don't let you do this, but I think Volder's got a special talent that is beyond the sensors of the drone. So he needs a better drone, because this is not the first time he's crashed the drone into a bush.
We get one more.
Yeah, that's why you must always say like 2 more, and then you end after that one. Okay, take 3. This time without the drone, just in case.
Hey guys, welcome back. This is Walter from Adventure Co, and today we are ride reviewing the Suzuki DL800DE, also known as the V-Strom 800DE. It's a proper middleweight adventure bike that's built for gravel, not just for tar. But the question is it actually a good bike for a real adventure trip, or is it just another spec sheet hero? So pop along and we'll show you all the ins and outs. You might also notice that our ride review is slightly different than the other ones, and the reason for that is when we were actually out riding the bike at our normal silo stop where we normally do these reviews, where there's less interference and less traffic and less noise, there was actually a lot of traffic happening. Big trucks offloading grains from the silo. We waited there for about an hour or so and decided to back up to another location, and the wind started picking up quite hectically. We had a storm front pushing in the next day, so we packed it up, got back home, and we opted to just shoot the bike at a local park. So here we go. The bike is incredibly stable off-road. It handles so nimbly and so smoothly, and that engine power is insane. It just feels like it's a smooth linear curve with power that doesn't want to stop. The standing position is quite natural. You might want to clock those handlebars slightly forward just to give you more an aggressive stance when you're off-roading, but I do think it could do with some handlebar rises and a slightly flatter handlebar. The suspension is on the softer side, even with preload and everything adjusted, but it makes for a very confidence-inspiring bike, and it's definitely not something you're going to do flat out riding over heavy rough terrain, although you probably can if you really want to. So the DL800DE is Suzuki's more off-road focused version of the V-Strom lineup. The curb weight is 230 kilograms. The front wheel is a 21-inch tube-type wire-spoked wheel. The rear wheel is also a 17-inch tube-type wire-spoked wheel, so you want to carry some tire levers and some proper tire repair tools with you. It's got a very nice bright 5-inch full-color TFT screen with riding modes and traction control, including a gravel mode. So in the riding modes, you can simply press the mode button on the left hand side of your handlebar. You've got Suzuki Drive Mode Selector, or SMDS. It's got 3 modes, A, B and C. A has got the most responsive power and C the least amount of responsive power. Traction control has got 3 modes. That includes a gravel mode, plus you can also completely disable the traction control. ABS has got 2 modes, and you can disable the rear ABS as well. It's got full LED lighting that includes indicators and headlight rear light. The max power is about 61-62 kilowatts, but I promise you the power delivery is such that it just feels like this bike pulls like a freight train. And the transmission, it's a 6-speed constant mesh with a bi-directional quick shifter, and that quick shifter is incredibly responsive and super smooth. Fuel capacity is about 20 liters, and the claimed fuel consumption is around about 22 to 22.7 kilometers per liter. So let's talk about the on-road versus the off-road feeling of this bike. On the tar road, the open road, it's smooth, it's stable, easy to ride, it's got predictable power, it just feels like a freight train that wants to keep pulling forever, and it's a very comfortable bike to ride. On the gravel though is where this bike really shines. That 21-inch front wheel makes for a really predictable front end ride. The suspension is on the softer side as mentioned, but it makes for a really stable and confidence inspiring ride. It just soaks up all the bumps. The power is easy to manage, and if you can set your traction control levels and your riding modes to where you like it with as much or as little interference as you prefer, it's just a fun bike to ride off-road. It doesn't feel intimidating, and that's really a big win for longer trips. So now the big question, who do we think this bike is perfect for? And it makes a lot of sense for riders who want a capable adventure bike without something that feels too aggressive or too demanding. This is going to be great for intermediate riders, riders doing mixed terrain trips or longer distance gravel touring. It may not be ideal for guys that want a super lightweight bike, or guys that want like high performance single track off-road rough bush bashing kind of riding. The DL800DE might not be the flashiest bike in the category, but it's definitely one of the most usable. It's stable, it's capable, and it's just really easy to live with on an adventure trip. If you're coming to South Africa and you want to join us on an adventure bike trip, or you simply want to rent an adventure bike and do your own exploring, check out adventureco.co.za.